going on, guys? Jimmy God here, and today I'm going to be showing you something really special. This is the Pan Asian Creations 7.5 foot tall animated Trickster trio sold at the Home Depot. Now before we begin, let's shoot the elephant out of the room first. Yes, I said in a previous video that I thought the concept for clowns being Halloween props has pretty much run its course. However, I think that statement needs a little bit of an update. There are actually a few exceptions I'm willing to make in that regard. These guys are definitely one of them. And I think another one I can make an exception for would be the tug-of-war clowns, because from my understanding, clowns were originally made to be, funny, not scary. The only reason that people were, scared of clowns is because of the weird, freaky makeup they had. So, companies decided to take advantage of that and create some truly terrifying concepts, depending on who you ask. And I believe this first originated with Fitco's Evil Clown, and then Uncle Charlie kind of boosted that concept into popularity unexpectedly, and then other companies started to cash in on the trend, and, here we are about a decade later with dozens of clown props that I can count on more than one hand. Now, I know that there are some haunters out there who just love clown props, and more power to them. They can have as many clown props as they want. Me, on the other hand, I'm a bit more selective with the clown props I want to get. I was not really intending on buying these guys at first, but after playing these guys in the Home Depot and seeing a few videos, they kind of grew on me, mainly because of the witty dialogue they actually have to offer in just the span of 3 phrases. It's pretty amazing stuff. So yeah, they eventually grew on me. I decided, you know what? Despite the fact that they're clown props, I think I'll get them just for the witty dialogue. So I've come to the conclusion that clown props are best when they're both funny and scary. Not just completely scary, but there's got to be some humor in there as well, because like I said, clowns were originally meant to be funny. So if you can make a clown prop that's both funny and scary, I suppose I could purchase it. If I can afford it. It depends on how much it's being priced for. These guys are being sold for $200. I know that's pretty expensive, but I'd say these guys are worth buying, if you're willing to find a clown prop that's actually really good and actually worth your time and money. But yeah, the box these guys come in is really freaking huge. It's probably the biggest box I have of anything in my collection thus far. And I'm pretty sure that there isn't going to be another box that could possibly, top this one size-wise, because the way I'm displaying this box now, it's nearly 4 feet wide and 2 feet tall. So this is a really huge friggin' box, so I was just lucky I was able to get it back to my place. But anyways, let's take a look at it and see what it has to offer. It says Home Accent Holidays. 7.5 feet or 2.28 meters, Fears Through the Years, animated LED Trickster Trio Stack. Indoor and outdoor, and it actually has a timer, 6 hours on, 18 hours off, mouths and arm with hammer move, motion activated, speaks 3 different spooky phrases, horizontal or vertical setup for multiple display options, and compatible with Step Here Pad animatronic activator, sold separately. So if you don't want to display them stacked, like as you can see here, you can have them displayed this way, standing beside each other. But I'm gonna see if I can get them stacked in here, and if not, I'll display them this way for the review. But I will try and showcase as much as I can with these guys. I really will. Side-by-side setup for multiple display options, illuminated eyes, and there's what I believe is supposed to be the diagram. Easy find. 7.5 feet tall. That's really freaking tall. There they are. 3.7 feet tall each. And 21.6, 23.2 inches, and 21.6. As you can see right there. It says Pan Asian Creations Limited. So they were the ones that manufactured this place. And I gotta say for the record that Pan Asian really came through this year. I haven't really been paying that much attention to that company's lines over the past few years, but they really got my attention this year because, a lot of what Home Depot is selling is actually from Pan Asian. It's not just these guys. Aside from these guys, there's also the Sitter of Souls, the new Soul Slasher, There's also the Victorian Reaper. That's also by Pan Asian. What else? There's also, I think, the Cauldron. There's a lighted cauldron that's made by Pan Asian. There's the 3-foot doll that's by Pan Asian. Like, a lot of the stuff that they're selling is by Pan Asian. And I'm sure a lot of you in my audience may recognize the company for the animated skeleton animals they've been making for the past couple of years. And I think that's what's really keeping them alive in the business, because it seems to be a really unique concept, and they're really taking advantage of it. But anyways, in this video, I'm going to be taking these guys out, showing you how to set these guys up, and what you can do with these guys. And again, I'm going to get through as much as I can in this video with these guys. So strap in, folks. This is going to be one heck of a video. Alright, got the box open, and enclosed what you'll find, aside from the clowns themselves, you can see this one's got a bag over its head. I think all three of them do. But this one should be relatively simple to set up. As you can see, there's the instructions on how to set these guys up on the flaps of the box itself. I believe this is how you set them up when you stack them, and I believe this is how you set them up when you want to display them side by side. Alright, let's get everything out of the box, and I'll show you how it's done. Okay, here's literally everything that comes in the original box of the animated Trickster trio. Aside from the clowns themselves, what you'll get are different pieces to assemble the base together. You got the clown's arm there, the mallet that goes on that guy. You got the stakes if you want to use them outside. You got the instruction manual, of course, and the adapter. Now you'll notice there are two cables coming from the purple clown and the yellow clown. These are supposed to be connected to the red clown here. So, if you want to have them displayed like this, which I suppose would be the more recommended option if you can't stack them, but, what you want to do is undo these cables, and, I believe they're labeled, as well, so you can actually figure out which cable hooks into which port on the red clown. So I'll be sure to get all that set up, and we'll move on to the next step of displaying them side by side. Alright, here they are, guys, set up the horizontal way. Now, how to connect these guys together, there's two cables coming from the red clown that go to the purple and yellow clowns. And if you're worried if you might mess it up, don't worry. Each cable is designed a specific way so that you can't get it wrong. Like, so, I believe it's the purple clown has 4 prongs on his cable port, and the yellow clown has 5. So, like I said, you can't get it wrong, and it should be easy to identify. So, after that, you just, like, hook them up correctly, use the little cap that's attached to screw them into place to, you know, so they don't fall out unexpectedly. Then, assemble the adapter. It's pretty much the same as setting up a cheap Fan Inflatables adapter. Plug it in, and that's pretty much how you set these guys up standing side by side instead of stacked on top of each other, which is the way I'm hoping I can get these guys set up later on in this video, but we'll see. So now, all I gotta do is plug these guys in, and we'll see them go. So, let's go! Yeah, hear that popping sound? That means they're ready to go. Let me just find the switch, and I will be right back. And we'll probably see them activated halfway through an activation, so I'll be right back. And here we are, guys. All set up, and as you can see, when they're not in activation, their eyes will glow continuously. But, yeah, let's go ahead and see these guys in action.
Knock, knock. Who's there? Hush. Enough jokes. Spinner poo. Finish my bag with candy. That's pretty funny, but hitting people with my mallet is funnier. How about some tricks and treats?
As you can see, their eyes will glow continuously when they're not in activation, which is not just exclusive, but they also have a lights-only feature, which is actually a feature that's been used on all of the new Pan Asian props this year, so that's another reason to go for Pan Asian props because they have that cool feature. So if you don't want the prop you desire most yammering all night, you can just set it to light only and you'll just have the eyes glowing, staring down those trick-or-treaters as they come by to your house. So anyways, let's get back on with the phrases. Got a fact.
Roses are red, violets are blue. Your phone is smart. So why are you? Drink it's the perfect night for some serious prank. Hey, Candy, don't you quiet down. Don't make me whack you again. We need to find some trick-or-treaters and steal their delicious candy. Ah, yes. The sound of screaming children is like music to my ears. I like the sound of the candy wrappers opening. Shut up! Look! There's a trick-or-treater right there. Give us your candy now!
And that's pretty much the Trickster trio displayed horizontally. So if you're going to display them like this, you don't even really need the base. You only really need it if you're going to set them up stacked, which is the next way I'm going to show you how to display these guys if you want to set them up the way they were originally intended as far as I can tell. But overall, I'm not disappointed with these guys for being clown props. These are actually really good. And like I said, as you heard from the phrases, the dialogue is really good. Like whoever wrote the script, like he needs to start working for Jemmy because as you know, Jemmy's actually been like recycling a lot of their old phrases. Like you can tell that Jemmy's out of ideas, but Pan Asian, man, mwah, mwah, mwah. Pan Asian Creations is like getting creative with their scripts. Even if it's nothing completely original, it's better than just completely recycling like 95% of what old prop dialogue from like what 15 years ago. I mean, you could do it a few times at first, but it's safe to say that Jemmy's kind of become as repetitive as Sunstar. Probably even more so than Sunstar, but that's besides the point. Now I'm going to show you guys how to set them up by stacking them on top of each other, so I'll be right back. Okay, so now I'm showing you how I set up the base. It's pretty simple. All you have to do is take those two halves and push them in, and they will be labeled. That part's labeled A, this side is labeled B, and the middle is labeled C. And there's actually two labels as well, front and back. So if you're going to display the Trickster trio stacked, you have to have the clowns facing this way. So I'm pretty sure if you do it the other way, it's not going to look as good, and it might actually be more vulnerable to falling out. Now, the purpose of these stakes, I'm not planning on using these because I'm not going to use them outside. But these stakes, I believe there are 4 holes to insert these stakes into the ground when using it outside. So I believe you just firmly insert these stakes into the ground once you have the Trickster trio stacked in the place where you want to display them. So that's pretty much the base. Now it's time to get the clowns disassembled and reassembled, stacked onto this base. So I'll be right back. Alright, I got the red clown on the base. Now this is the way it's supposed to be stacked. You can't do this any other way, so pay attention. The red clown goes on first, and then the purple clown goes on top of him, and then you put the yellow clown on top. Now how to get the cables, I detached them. When you have them displayed horizontally, yeah, you can have all the cables hanging out from the red clown, but it's just the adapter that should be hanging out. The cables that connect to the other clowns should be facing upwards to get a more proper connection, like this. Because if you have it stacked the other way, then the connection is going to be a little bit tight and it might break the wires, I think. But yeah. So as you can see, it's got the little waterproof PACs, so I guess that's why it's qualified for outdoor use. But still, be careful. It's an electronic prop. It's not an air-blown inflatable. But as you can see on the backs of the necks of these guys, there's a pole insert to stack this clown. And then, of course, the same thing with him. There's another pole to insert the yellow clown onto this one. And the pole used to attach this clown to the red one is between his freaking legs. I don't know if you can see it right there. And again, there's that little button you press to help secure it into place. And the yellow clown has that too, so you can stack him on top of the purple clown. Let me show you if I can find it. There it is. So I'm going to go ahead and get this thing set up, and I'll see if I can get it stacked in here. So I'll be right back. And here they are, guys. All three of the Trickster Trio clowns stacked on top of each other. I will make some arrangements to when I get to properly displaying these guys, but for now, here they are. And yes, these do fully work. I've seen some where at least one of the moving parts stopped working. I'm pretty sure it was just like some got jammed in it. I mean, these are new props, and the quality of Pan Asian's props has been kind of questionable, to be honest with you, but for these guys, I don't think they're very faulty, like, at all. I'm sure if something like stops moving, it's probably like a moving part got jammed or something, so nothing to really worry about. I have these guys set on sensor, so they're probably going to go off as soon as I plug them in. So let's see these guys stacked. All right, their eyes are glowing. Now let's see them go.
It's the perfect night for some serious prank. Hey, Candy, don't you quiet down. Don't make me block you again. We need to find some trick-or-treaters and steal their delicious candy. Ah, yes. The sound of screaming children is like music to my ears. I like the sound of the candy wrappers opening. Shut up! Look! There's a trick-or-treater right there. Get your candy now! Knock, knock. Who's there? Hush, enough jokes. Philip, who? Philip my bag with candy. That's pretty funny. But hitting people with my mallet is funnier. How about some tricks and treats? Roses are red. Violets are blue. Your phone is smart. The liar is you. Trick or
And like I said before, as you can see, their eyes will glow continuously when they're not in motion on sensor mode, but there is a setting on the three-way switch for lights only where it's just the eyes will glow and it won't go off. It won't move or talk or anything. It'll just have the eyes glow when you have it set to that setting. So I suppose I'll have it set. I'll go set it to lights only and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'll be right back. All right, here they are on lights only mode. As you can see, when I walk up to them and try to set them off, they don't do anything. They just have their eyes glowing continuously. I suppose we'll get an up-close look at each character individually while we're here. As you can see, starting with the red clown. He's got glowing green eyes. And the suits, I believe, are made out of the same nylon material you would find on any Gemmy air-blown inflatable. If it's not the exact same material, it's very similar, absolutely. As you can see with the blow-molded heads and gear-controlled mouths. Another interesting fact about these guys is that these guys seem to have the same structure as the bobblehead butlers that Pan Asian also did. And I actually have to say that I kind of like those more than the Jemmy butlers. Not that the Jemmy butlers are terrible, mind you. It's just something I thought I'd point out. Here's the purple clown with the red glowing eyes. Has the more obvious grin. I mean, they're all sculpted with a grin on their face. It's just this one seems to be the most obvious. And this one actually has a tag attached to his arm, which I believe is intended for store display purposes only, but it says, "Keep off. Do not climb or sit on the Trickster Trio stack." I don't know why they decided to add it to the purchasable units as well. I'm guessing because they were afraid that someone might try to pull that stunt off with these guys at someone's house. But I digress. And then here's the guy on top with the yellow eyes, the mallet in his hands. The mechanism that moves the arm up and down does sound a little, does kind of creak a bit, but it's nothing too concerning. But overall, my final thoughts on these guys, you know, despite being an overdone stylization choice, you know, with clowns being animated Halloween props, I'd have to say that Pan Asian really put a unique spin on the concept in general, because, like I said at the beginning of the video, clowns were originally meant to be funny, not scary. So I think there's a perfect balance of both with these guys, both funny and scary. Scary mainly in the appearance, kinda. But the dialogue and the overall animation even perfectly balances out perfectly. Like, I don't think I can name a single other clown prop that balances out the funny and the scary with this concept so well. I believe the closest contender for that would probably be the tug-of-war clowns from Seasonal Visions. But usually you get clowns that are intimidatingly scary, but I think that was the problem. It's like they make like clown props scary without being funny. So if we got more clown props that were both scary and funny and try to like make a perfect mix of both for future clown props going forward, then maybe, just maybe, I may consider getting more clown props. But for now, this and a few other clown props that I can make exception for with this concept, I'd have to say these are probably some of the best clown props that I'd say I'd be willing to buy. Although I would prefer if we got more birthday, non-scary, cute, actually friendly birthday clown-related props. Inflatables, animatronics, because I remember there being birthday clowns. I did a review on an inflatable like 2 years ago of a birthday clown that was not scary in the slightest. Although I could see them modifying it to be scary to fit with all the other clown props. So I have to say, Pan Asian Creations really did a good job on making a clown prop that was both scary and funny, and they balanced it out perfectly. And there was another clown prop that Home Depot got. My store didn't get it, but it's called Carnival Carl. He's 8.5 feet tall. And I have to say, he's a little less funny and a little bit more scary, but I'd say he's a little closer to the mark, but not on the bullseye like these guys are for me. And if there was one thing I could change about these guys, I would definitely make them like actual classic Halloween monsters. You know, maybe have them be a vampire, mummy, and Frankenstein. I'm sure maybe Pan Asian will probably do something like that. I'm sure if this concept sells well enough, I'm sure they'll do it again with other characters for Halloween, like I said. If they would do that, that would be pretty great. And yeah, if you wish, you can even keep the dialogue the same. The soundtrack's the same. That would be pretty cool. So, if you really want an actually good clown prop that's both equally scary and funny, I'd have to say the Trickster Trio is probably your best bet. Carnival Carl, maybe. Again, he's a little bit more scary than funny. It's not perfectly balanced, but if you want a clown prop that equally balances out the funny and the scary aspects of this concept perfectly, these guys are the way to go. And for $200, as expensive as that is, I'd say it's totally worth it if you can get it. If you have the money to get these guys, I'd say pick these guys up at your local Home Depot because will they come back for 2025? I have no idea. You don't know these days. But if something sells well enough, there's a chance it might come back the very next year. And they'll probably keep bringing it back until it's no longer a bestseller. So there you go, guys. That's my honest review of the Pan Asian Creations animated Trickster trio. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.